Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Stellar Studio Sessions. My name is Richie Mashiko,
And my name is Shay Land.
and today we're going to be talking about design versus art. So Shay brought up this topic, and she kind of wanted to explain what is the difference between design and art.
So, this is actually a subject that really frustrates me and gets me fired because, yes, design is a form of art, but it is not art. And the main reason for that is because art is subjective and design, you need a strategy. And everything you do in design, it needs to be backed by reasoning.
Right. So you just go a little more in depth, like in more, I guess, more practical sense. Like, what is that difference? And how can you make sure that you're doing design where it's necessary and you're doing the art where it's necessary?
So, art is about iteration after iteration, or it's based on feelings and emotions. And it's not to say that design isn't based off of feelings and emotions. It's just you need to take a more logical approach for design. Because design needs to strengthen your brand or whatever you're doing. And in order to strengthen it, it's like, why did you choose red? Oh, because it means courage, it's invigorating, it's going to cause people to want to rally behind us. Like, you need to be able to back all of your reasons up, and maybe it's just kind of you're pulling it out of your butt and maybe it doesn't make sense, but the idea is to do your best to push these ideas forward by even having these what's it called, subconscious meanings.
Right. So I guess maybe a way to put it is that design there's a greater purpose to the design rather than just evoking feelings. It's
Yeah.
how can we get people to trust us and buy our product, right? Or
Yes.
espouse those brand values, whatever it is. It's a piece to a bigger
Puzzle.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
But so do you think there's a place where art and design, is there any overlap or?
I do think there's overlap. So I guess design has turned into this very strategic route where you can't. It's like UI UX. You can't really separate them anymore.
Mhm.
You need one. You need both of them to survive. But so I guess where art and design overlap is when you hire an artist, you're hiring them. Well, you go hire them and you have a direction in mind. So it's if they hit the direction or not, but they'll provide you many different types of iteration. I think it's very hard to separate the two a bit.
Right. So how about like practically like in a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you hire a designer and you hire an art director, right? What are those roles that each of those people are filling? And do you need to hire two different people, or could it be the same person in one? Or what do you think about that?
So another term I've learned recently and people start using is a pretty maker. So a pretty maker could be just a designer and your goal is to make things look pretty. But the thing is, when you are running a business, you need to hire people with business mindsets. And that's typically the difference between a designer and an art director, is because the art director is thinking about your business goals and how to get you there with all of these avenues.
The designer or the art director?
Art director.
Okay.
If you have a good designer that thinks business, then that's good. But mostly the designers are thinking just how it looks.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So for like for larger companies, you think those two roles should be different, hire different people?
I think so, because I think it's easier for designers to just express themselves and do what they love rather than think about the business goals. It's nice when they do, but sometimes it can be very limiting. And you need someone who's a euphorical thinker and just goes all out. And I think that's what really makes good design good. And then you have someone else, like an art director, come in and redirect the focus or massage the piece a bit more.
Right. So from your perspective, like I know because you kind of do a little bit of both here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's your preference, or what do you like to do more of? Or how do you see yourself, I guess?
So I recently realized I'm stepping into more of a strategic role where I can't just think about how it looks. I have to think about how it works and who it's talking to and what function it serves. So I think I'm stepping away from just being a pretty maker and a designer. Like, I can't even do that anymore. And my belief on that is once you do strategy and design together, you can't really get it out of your mind. It's like that's the way you think now.
Right. So has that transition been hard or easy, or what have you found like with that transition of more, I guess, like the mindset of thinking as a designer rather than thinking of like how you're thinking now, combining the strategy and design?
Well, when I first got out of college, I had a bit of an ego and I was just like, I know everything and this is what's going to make your brand great. But the thing is, I wasn't thinking about business goals. And at my last company is where I truly learned and grew. And because we worked with a lot of entrepreneurs and startups, so we had to be very adaptive and dynamic. And just learning how to make them successful through Kickstarters and campaigns. You have to think about their business goals and what's going to get them there, because I was also a project manager and I had to talk to these clients and face them if I messed up. So I wasn't just a designer, and I had to step out of that role.
Right, right. I mean, I think it's a very interesting conversation. I don't know if it could be done really, really well in 10 minutes or however long this podcast is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we hit on the main points, right? So maybe any last advice for the listeners or the viewers at home?
If you're starting a business, I think it's important to hire the right people behind you. So if you're interviewing designers, you want to consider somebody who knows more business than just design.
Right. I think that's key, especially young companies. Make sure the people that you hire have the ability to not just art and design, but have the ability to do multiple things.
Yeah.
'Cause when you're at a young company, you need people who are more generalists than really specialists, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's good if you're looking for an art director or designer to have that one person kind of have both thinking, the design thinking and the more strategic thinking.
Yeah. And I always make the joke that you need to hire a psychic octopus for your next designer.
Why a psychic octopus?
Because design is subjective, and everyone's color green is different inside their mind, and what makes it pop is different from the other person's idea of what makes it pop. So you have to be psychic and pulling this information out of them and really understanding what they mean. And just an octopus, because you have to do 12 to 20 things all at once and different things.
Right. Okay, so you heard it here first, right? Go hire that psychic octopus.
Yep.
And I think we'll see you guys on the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast from wherever you get it, Apple, Stitcher, Google Play. Subscribe to our channel, rate and review, leave your comments down below, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Stellar Studio Sessions. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, and if you want to learn more about digital strategy, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.